The most underrated suburb of Buffalo, the village of Kenmore. The village of Kenmore was Buffalo's literally first suburbs and is home to about 15,000 people. It only stretched about 15 to 20 blocks, but inside this village is some of the most greatest history, some of the best built houses around, and one of the most underrated appreciations of this village is the actual walkability. Just for a little quick history lesson, the village of Kenmore was actually the first suburb of Buffalo. This sits just north of the actual city of Buffalo, so proximity to the city is honestly amazing. It's home to about 15,000 people, and in the year 1899 is when it was elected to be incorporated as a village. Think about that, 1899, that's a long time ago. In 2009, it was voted in the top 10 of the entire United States as one of the top 10 greatest neighborhoods of the entire US. That's amazing. Delaware Avenue and Kenmore are gonna be two of your main streets around the village that you have any and everything you need. Delaware Avenue is going to be a blast from the past and the future of all the things that they have on this street. This is where a lot of your mom and pop shops are going to be, your small business owners, a lot of the things that kind of makes the village the village. The closer you live to Delaware Avenue is going to make the walkability that much more present for you because you literally have everything you need. I walked about a half a mile just shooting this video, and I walked past the grocery store. I walked past all types of restaurants and eateries. You talk about Mike's, the King Cornell's, as far as all the candy and chocolate and ice cream that you could possibly eat with a burger and fry. Everything you need is gonna be on that Delaware Avenue strip, and the further you go down, you'll run right into Target. You'll run right into, Delta Sonic as far as going to get your car washed. Everything you need is literally in or just outside that village to be able to access very, very quickly. And with this actually being the first suburb of Buffalo or just north of the city of Buffalo, the proximity to the city is absolutely amazing. You're probably, no exaggeration, 12 to about 15 minutes from downtown, depending on how fast you drive. You're still only about 19 minutes away from the mall, which is the Galleria, and you're roughly about 21 minutes away from the airport. So you're still close to a lot of different things. And again, we don't have traffic in Buffalo, so if you take the expressway, you maybe even get to all three of these locations even faster. Now, I know I always rave on Kenmore and all the pros to this area, but there are some drawbacks as well. The housing stock is going to be much older than a lot of the homes in the other areas. Now, you're gonna find those beautiful American four squares, some bungalows, definitely a lot of duplexes, more kind of like the 2-2s or 2-1s in Kenmore, but every now and again you'll be able to find a 3-3, which is a three bedroom on the upper and lower end. But with that older home stock, you do have cinder block foundations. If you guys already know from my previous videos, those foundations are not the best when it comes to the land that Buffalo has because it is so swampy and so wet, especially with you actually being a village of Tonawanda. Tonawanda is surrounded by water and has a bunch of water flowing in and around it, and this makes up no difference when it comes to Kenmore. Kenmore is known for those damp basements, kind of wet basements with that cinder block foundation. So as we are touring the homes in this area, that is something you have to pay attention to. Now, the great thing about this is that most people have fixed this problem with a sub pump, either doing some excavation around the entire foundation as far as sealing up any, water, or, putting some concrete together and filling in the holes that may have been allowing the water to get in. Or some people even took the entire extensive route, maybe did a French drain in or around the house, and if their walls were starting to bow a little bit, they put in the I-beams, which kind of holds the structure up together and reinforces each one of those walls. But that is one of the major drawbacks to buying a home in Kenmore or Tonawanda, just in all actuality. And then secondly, the greatest stat I think that says a lot about this community is that 70% of people who live in this community own their house. So you're not gonna let your house fill up with water every single time it rains heavy or the snow melt. A lot of people preserve and take care of these houses beautifully. Even though they have a little bit older, you can feel that Kenmore charm in the house. You'll always know a Kenmore house because generally the main bedroom is in the front of the house. It'll have some type of porch, and then you'll always have like this in the living room. Sometimes they have it's almost like a covered porch that's in the house, if that makes sense. It's almost like a living room. I always describe it as like a living room extender, which some people use as a playroom, other people use as an office, other people just extend the living room into it and allow it to just kind of have that natural light, that big bay window kind of thing that brings more of that character and charm into a Kenmore house. And then the second thing is, some of the houses, especially the closer you get to Elmwood, they start to get a little tighter together. Closer you get to Delaware, maybe Irving or near the park or the schools, like Kenmore East or Kenmore West, you'll definitely have a more spread out. You actually get a driveway with a decent sized backyard and a garage more than likely. But there are certain sections around Kenmore that the houses do get really tight, and it's tough to be able to pull inside your driveway because of the proximity of the houses being so close together. Now let's talk about a couple things to do inside the village, and this is honestly one of my best ones. I would have never thought about this if it wasn't for my girlfriend, but we actually did the Terra Studios, making like the clay bowls and stuff. This is obviously one of the most fun, relaxing things I've ever done. You remember like art class years and years ago? This is definitely what it felt like for like 2 to 3 hours, and I didn't even watch the time go by. That's how fun it was. And the instructor Dan in there, he's amazing. If y'all can get with Dan, there's a lot of other instructors in there. I'm not trying to knock anybody in Terra, but see, like this is one of the creations right here. Look, I made this like little key holder. I gotta hang it up, but shoot, drop my keys, bang, right in there. I never forget them again. And we also made this bowl right here that actually we keep at the front door on the bench, to be able to keep the keys in there, 2 wallets, whatever we need. I literally just pick my watch up and just drop it right in there so I never forget it off my wrist. So this Terra Studios, I would highly recommend date nights, family fun nights, whatever it may be. I think the class size only goes up to about 6, so you probably want to do a date night instead. And I actually got to go pick up 2 more bowls, so I'm glad I shot this video. But if you are artsy, they also have some other art studios as well, like Hammer and Stain, and they also have Board and Brush as well. Kenmore Lanes, all my bowlers out there, go ahead and get your roll on. And then you also, if you're really into like that theater and kind of like stage plays, I'm really not that opera guy and all that, but they do have main stage theater, which you can always go to. Now when it comes to food, y'all know I'm always hold you down with the food spots. One of my favorite is La Divina Tacos, hands down. But you also have Mike Subs, which is really good. I had them actually a couple times last year. And you also have Jay's Artisan Pizza, one for all my healthy eaters like myself. You also have Eat Right Foods as well. They're a meal prep place. If you don't like Eat Right, I do really I spend too much money at 95 Nutrition. They don't have, well, they have one in North Buffalo, which is up the street. So that's another great one, and that's just outside of Kenmore as well. So any of my meal prep people who always want to grow, that still want to eat healthy, Eat Right Foods and 95 Nutrition are definitely my 2 go-to places, and I eat there, again, way too much. If y'all seen how many points I have there, it's insane, no exaggeration. And then you guys already know my favorite cafe. If we meet in Kenmore somewhere, or we need to have a meeting, is gonna be at Spot Coffee, hands down. That is definitely one of my favorite places to go to, sit down, relax, get some work done, and still, you know, I may get a muffin every now and again if it's a cheat day. Other than that, I'm just grabbing a nice tea, relaxing, sitting by the window and getting a lot of work done. As always, if you guys don't already know, my name is Devontae Davis, the local realtor in and around the Buffalo area, and this is the village of Kenmore, going over all the beauties, the bads, the pros, the cons, everything in between. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you are moving up to the Buffalo area or already in the Buffalo area, maybe looking to move to Kenmore, make sure you guys hit me up with a call, email, text as always. And if you need anything, any questions, just shoot me a call, email, text, and I'll make sure that I respond ASAP or when I see it. Okay, as always, I will talk to you guys inside the next one.